fire.
It's probably the best training there is, honestly.
That same concept carrying into firefighting.
To me, it helps a lot.
Nearly 100 firefighters like Curtis Coleman and Jordan Kennett from Olive Hill met in Lawrence County.
This is a good way to see exactly what we need to be looking for in a fire to save lives.
This type of class is called live burn training. Instructors go inside to light small fires so firefighters can test their tactics.
They learn fire behavior, techniques with nozzles, how to put out that fire, overhauls.
Regional Training Coordinator Mark Hammond says this type of training is vital.
So they know exactly how that fire is going to work when they actually get a fire on them at their department.
And while many departments are in desperate need for volunteers.
In Kentucky, probably over 80% of the fire departments are volunteer, so we do need any help that we can possibly get.
Sessions like this can help recruit as well as retain firefighters.
Anytime we burn, we usually get a huge turnout because it's few and far between that it happens.
Turning up their tactical skills. In Lawrence County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Fire departments as far as Harrison County, Kentucky traveled to this afternoon's training. This class is part of a weekend-long course to help sharpen their life-saving skills. And over in Clay County, a fire destroyed an old gas station early this morning. Firefighters say when they got to Stevie's gas station off US 421, smoke and fire was already spreading out through the building. Crews went inside and extinguished those flames. And the cause? Firefighters think arson might be to blame. They asked Kentucky State Police to investigate the cause of the fire. Laurel County deputies say they found a man's body this afternoon in a creek. Deputies believe that person found was Tony Gibson. Gibson went missing last week. The body was sent to Frankfort for an autopsy and to positively confirm that identity. The cause of death is not known at this time. A Kentucky man could face the death penalty if convicted of murdering a 7-year-old girl. The Glasgow Daily Times reports a judge denied a motion Friday to exclude the death penalty in the case against Timothy Madden. That trial takes place in September. Prosecutors accuse Madden of killing Gabby Doolin after she disappeared during a football game in Allen County back in 2015.
Well, we've been dealing with a lot of gloomy weather over the weekend, even especially into today. We're going to start to see those changes, but however, we're still dealing with a little bit of gloomy conditions. You can see here on a webcam right outside of the WYMT studios that fog is coming in and it is pretty thick out there, so be sure to be careful if you're traveling into the overnight hours. You're going to run into that thick, dense fog really anywhere throughout eastern Kentucky. But you can see on satellite and radar, we are finally starting to dry out and clear out. You see those clouds and a couple drizzles that lingered over into the evening hours, getting on out of here, making way for clearer skies, but those clear skies is what's letting that fog start to settle in. And here's that visibility out there right now. A lot of places not looking too bad, but check out the Cumberland Valley region. A lot of folks less than 5 miles of visibility. So like I said, just be careful out there. Take it easy on the roads. As far as temperatures go for right now, we are into the mid to upper 50s, so definitely a light jacket if you're heading out anytime soon. But overall, we're looking at those gloomy conditions start to get out of here, and we're going to see that sunshine return, and I'll break all of that down in my full forecast, Macy.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Longshot Country House was the one celebrating in the winner's circle after race stewards disqualified the undefeated Maximum Security, who finished first in the Kentucky Derby yesterday. It was a controversial decision, no doubt, and today Garrett Weimer looked into why and how it all happened.
By most accounts, situations like these are fairly common in horse racing, and it's an easy call in an average race. But here in the horse capital, we all know the Kentucky Derby is not an average race. Still, industry experts and insiders I've talked to say the rules are clear.
From a guy that's been in this game for a long time, they made the right call.
Kenny McPeak posted this video and a number of tweets trying to explain the steward's decision. He's a Lexington native horseman and a Belmont winning trainer. He told me on the phone the stewards are pros.
Maybe the horse just ducked, but it is the rule, and it does need to stay in place because it's their responsibility to stay on path.
The rule says in part, if a leading horse or any other horse in a race swerves or is ridden to either side so as to interfere with, intimidate, or impede any other horse or jockey or to cause the same result, this action shall be deemed a foul. The rule also gives stewards authority to disqualify a horse if the foul alters the finish of the race.
We determined that the 7 horse drifted out and impacted the progress of number 1, in turn interfering with the 18.
Experts say the rule is there for safety reasons because no one wants horses clipping heels and falling. That could lead to catastrophe on the track, something the sport certainly doesn't need on perhaps its biggest day, given the scrutiny the industry is under right now.
To let it go for future Kentucky Derbies would have been worse, because then it would have turned into a real rodeo every race.
McPeak says he doesn't think the move was intentional, maybe just a little lost focus or even some bad luck. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Now, by rule, maximum security was placed behind all the horses the stewards determined he bothered. As a result, he officially finished 17th in the field of 19. The jockey will meet with stewards this week to watch the race and talk about what happened. Over in Laurel County, deputies say they arrested a man early Saturday morning after he ran through yards screaming and cursing. Deputies say Jason Sims was running behind a house off Old Way Road when they found him. He told deputies he smoked some bad dope the day before. Deputies charged Sims with public intoxication from controlled substances and disorderly conduct. He was taken to the Laurel County Detention Center. And on Friday, Laurel County deputies arrested a man who had a hypodermic needle on him. Deputies say they got a call about a suspicious person off Echo Valley Road. When they searched David Stewart, he did not tell deputies he had a needle on him. Stewart was charged with public intoxication, wanton endangerment of an officer, and possession of drug paraphernalia. A WWE live event set for tomorrow at the Corbin Arena was rescheduled. The event will now take place on October 17th. Event organizers did not give a reason for the rescheduling. Tickets already purchased will be honored in October. The Martin County Sheriff's Office says a man who went missing last week was found safe. Glenn Booth is in the early stages of dementia, and loved ones became worried when they could not find him last week. And over in Clay County, a donation to the Sheriff's Office is making things easier for children during some stressful situations. Save the Children donated 17 crates of books, backpacks, and other treats to children and at the department. The items go to kids involved in some of the calls deputies take. The sheriff says the children they run into are usually going through hard times, and even something small can put a smile on their face.
The Clay County Sheriff's Office has partnered up with Save the Children. We have local people employed by Save the Children. They have donated bears, dogs, books for us to keep in our cruisers. So whenever we have a call and there's a small child, we can give the books to them and kind of put them at ease.
There are crates of the donations inside the sheriff's office for when children come in, and deputies are also handing children toys when they go out on a call. Back in February, a little girl in Leslie County was diagnosed with a terrible case of the flu, which turned into something worse. The community continues coming together to support Kaylin Lowe, including with an event today. WYMT's Lauren McCourt explains.
3 months ago, Kaylin Lowe was a healthy little girl full of spirit.
Fun, funny, silly, wild. She never stopped. Never.
But in late February, the unthinkable happened.
Taking her to the ER, we just thought it was the normal puking and fever. And then when we got to Hazard, it was scary.
Kaylin was diagnosed with the flu, which soon led to encephalitis.
We just didn't know what she was doing, why she wasn't listening and responding.
After spending months in the hospital,
2 months to the day. Yeah.
Kaylin finally got to come back home to Leslie County. Still having a long road ahead, members of the community decided to host a cruise-in to help with the medical expenses for the family.
I've been doing my best to help him out every way I can, and I told him rain or snow, shine, I'd be here.
This event bringing people in from all around eastern Kentucky.
It's really awesome to see people throw together to help out. It means a lot.
Everything. Yeah.
All to help out this precious baby girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, big thing.
For everything. She doesn't really realize how many people she does have.
But it's not just support from the community. The Lowe family has received help from around the world.
It's different communities, not only our community, but people, and there's people all over the world that send her stuff, stuffed animals and clothes.
Cards.
Yeah, everything.
And even though the family struggled the past couple of months,
everybody's pulled together for her.
The amount of love for their sweet Kaylin is unconditional. In Leslie County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
And Kaylin is taking therapy to help her get back on her feet. Earlier today in Lexington, University of Kentucky grads walked across the stage to get their diplomas. This was UK's largest graduating class ever, with more than 3,700 students getting those degrees. Family and friends packed inside Rupp Arena to cheer on their recent grads. And still to come at 11, a plane caught fire and landed in Russia, killing more than 40 people. We'll have that video. And the bodies of a pilot and his passenger have been found after a helicopter crash in the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland.
After a very soggy weekend, things will start to dry out and sunshine will return. I'll break down that forecast for the new week coming up.